Well, how am I getting them off? Well, just take a hammer, try and work them so that you get the whole thing gently. Just pry at it. I brought a big hammer, but I don't need that. Don't really even need one that big, but quite happy it's not sticking very good on the wall, so could have been a lot worse. There we go, recording finally. Took a minute to get the thing sorted out. Now we're talking the ultimate flat pack nightmare. Now what I've got is a vanity unit. This one is going to go over there. So I'm going to take the toilet out, put that unit in there. That's the top there. Now somehow I've got to get this over there where the toilet is and mount it on the wall for the new unit. And it doesn't look like it's going to be easy. So we're going to have a go, see what we can do. The height of the drain down there is going to be the big problem. But the tiles are looking pretty good today. Fairly happy with those. What we're going to be doing, taking all these tiles off. We're taking the shower off, replacing the tub, the sink, and the loo, tiling the floor, well, that's a good minute of, put a new piece of wood across the window thing here. Well, if you're doing one of these, you can't do this toilet separate. This piece has to go on, and it has to be connected to the to the tap unit, sink unit at the same time. So the sink unit has to be in place, otherwise you're never going to get it in there. So to fit this, I've had to cut the bottom out, so that goes in there like that, and then you have to cut the top out, so that goes in the top. There's it. So it slides in like that. And now I'm going to have to cut a hole someplace in here for the water supply to the pan from the cistern. So I want to try and center a hole in there so that looks nice. That's going to be tricky. Okay. Looking at the back of the pan and underneath the pan. Now this has holes in the side that go this way, not down like you normally want. And the only thing they give you this thing, and it looks like it's going to fit on there like that, and then that'll be bolted on the floor like that. But Jesus, talk about having to get something in the right place. How are you going to figure out exactly where that measurement is in the right place to put it? I guess you just have to measure from here to there and sort of guesstimate, maybe make a mark on the floor where it sits, and then hope for the best. The screws they give you are not long enough to go through there. It needs to be quite a bit longer for that to work. So quite a bit more work on that. Okay, well, we've got the tiles in. These are all natural stone tiles. Everyone that needs to be cut has to be cut on a wet saw. So I'm fairly happy with the way those have turned out. Now today's project is to put some plaster on this wall. Okay, so what I'm doing, I've got a scraper like this, and I'm going around and finding any high spots that need to be knocked down a little bit, because when you put the trowel on there, they'll just end up being bumps if they're not smooth. So that's that plan. Get those all knocked down. Now, okay, so that's what that was, but the way I did this tiling over here is I put a thin strip of wood on the top of the bathtub so I could get that gap all the way along. It didn't work out quite perfect. You can see a little bit of a gap there. This corner was a little bit difficult because what I didn't realize was this wall on this side is leaning in, so I've had to cut at the top to give it a little bit of relief. This one it's a little bit thin, that one's a little bit fat down there, but at the end of the day I've got to stop somewhere. You want to try and keep those as level as possible. That one's sticking up a little bit, same with there. Use these tile spacers to keep the gaps right. When it gets done, you just pull those out or cut them out however you can. Get those out of there. Today I'm going to be doing, putting the plaster on here, and while that's drying, I'll start doing the grouting over here. And the big thing is to try and keep the bathtub from getting scratched with anything, so as much take a lot of time and make sure that's all covered up nicely. Then once I've got the wall smooth and that's dried, I'll be putting a vanity unit and a toilet, a loo, whatever you want to call it, all built into one unit there. And at the end of that, we'll change the ceiling lights and prep and paint the ceiling. Then once the grout's dry, we'll put the shower unit in here. I've pre-drilled the hole where the shower is going to go through. That's one, so I just need to match the other one up on that side. So there we go. Carry on. Okay, this is a diamond bit. That's what I use to drill this. Now, to start one of these things off at an angle like that, on this, make a little cut along the bottom, and then with water, I used a bit of plumber's putty underneath to kind of catch it. Used a spray gun to keep spraying it. Now what happened with me was it got in there too far and it got stuck, so you got to be careful not to go too far. I still might have to do a bit with it, but that's the idea with that. That's the idea. This will be the put on there, but compression pipe fittings. Nice. Originally I had it up here and it was way too the shower head would have been way too high, so fortunately before I drilled any more holes I lowered it down. There we go. Okay, I've taken a tool like this, squeezed it into joints, giving it a good shoving it in there, shoving it in those joints, making sure those joints are nicely packed. Okay, the color has changed now, so that's telling me it's ready to be wiped off. I want these kind of reset, so I don't want them totally full. So now I've got a nice sponge that I'm going to take and I'm going to diagonally wipe those off. Okay, and that's what the undone was. So I've done that whole section there. Don't want to do more than that because you have to work it for a while, so make sure you do it